So, I remembered this story last night about something that happened in some of my travels in 2019 in Hawaii, actually. And man, I was like sharing the story with a group of friends, and I like once I was telling the story, I'm like, damn, that's actually like a really good story. Like, I should share that like with more people, and like, but I didn't. I kind of was like, I don't know if I'm gonna make a video. I was thinking about making a video like this, but I didn't know how it would be relevant to like just be like, let me just drop this travel story right now. But then I realized, and I'm like, dude, it like totally like this painting right now I'm working on. It's not finished yet, but it's totally inspired by Hawaii. It's totally, tropical influenced. It's a lot of my artwork really is inspired a lot from my travels, and so yeah, I mean, it is relevant. It does come together. So anyway, yeah, dropping a travel story. um, so it was in 2019, and we were. I had a partner at the time, and he had been to Kauai before. I had not. This was my first time on the island, and we had been island hopping, which actually that's the name of this painting is island hopping. We went to Maui, Kauai. Actually, we went first to Maui, then to Japan and Taiwan. We had like a layover for a couple of days in Japan, and honestly, like ended up like missing one of our flights and like had to stay an extra day there and stuff. It wasn't the worst, but it was crazy. Taiwan, like went and saw the Tea Mountains, and Taiwan's a little island too, island country. And then we went to Kauai and the Big Island after that. And we were gone for about a month, a little over a month. And like got home just in time from Taiwan for my passport to expire. Anyway, so yeah, the story. We were in Kauai, and man, like I'm starting to think of a lot of stories that I want to tell you. The one I intended to tell you was about we were in this van. We were with this girl, and her name was Ash, and I think she was from Oregon, and she had blonde hair, and she was living on Kauai. And a lot of people in the islands over there will get like you can buy vans, like beater cars, like really cheap, and it's like not uncommon to just like live out of your van, and like travelers coming and just like caravanning and whatever. So we were already on the way in this van with like these other two people up this mountain where Josh like said he remembered some spot that he had stayed at before. We were backpacking, like we had thanks to our good friend Jesse Hatcher, he let us use his camping equipment and stuff. So we had like our like backpacks and our tent, like had the little 2-man little tent, and everything. It was perfect. Like we had everything we needed, and but we were gonna go stay up at the spot that Josh knew about. That was kind of like a safe house or like an open house. I'll post the pictures with it. But we didn't really know what to expect. So we were just kind of like, okay, like he says he knows about some place, and we wanted to see. What were we going to see? The Kalalau Valley, but the I guess there it was closed. Like there wasn't a way that you could actually like get to it. You could only like get to the top of the mountain and like oversee like this side of it. Anyway, so we're gonna go stay up there, and it's like nighttime, and we're like driving, and we get this phone call. I'm like taking forever to tell the story. We get this phone call, and the van that Ash had bought, she was still like paying it off. Like she had like paid the first half up front. I think she was supposed to pay like the other half later or something like that. But like the guy that she was buying it from, he didn't fully own it yet either, and so he hadn't finished paying it off, and the guy that he owed the money to buy the van that he shouldn't have sold yet reported the van stolen. So then we're like on the other side of the island in a stolen vehicle, and I mean the island's only so big, right? It's like our cops. Or are the cops gonna like find us easily, or what was gonna happen? So I mean, we're not driving; we're just kind of like in the vehicle, like Like whatever's gonna happen's gonna happen. And you know what? Like nothing happened. Like we still got to where we need to go perfectly fine, and uh, got to this house, and it was this crazy ass house, and there was a sign on the door that was like, "Keep out if no respect house," and I mean everything was it was just there was a bed, there was blankets, and there were like pots and pans and a little fire pit. We roasted some coconut on the fire, and it was just really, really magical being up on the mountain in the woods and like not really know what our surroundings looked like yet because we got there after dark, and just like anticipating like the beauty of like what it was gonna be like in the morning. And it was cold up there. It was in January, but like even for Hawaii, like I was surprised at how cold it was. And I think there was like a flute, like a little wooden flute there that the guy, what was his name? I think his name was David. Was playing this flute. And yeah, we were just like alone up there at this house that was just open for people that like people had like written stuff on the walls and painted things and like left notes, and you could tell a lot of people had come through there and stayed there and just respected the house, and they used it and they left, and the bed was made, and everything was respected and taken care of, and that was really cool to see. I've never been anywhere else like that or seen anything else like that. That same trip on Kauai. Kauai was my favorite island, by the way. I've been to Maui twice, and that was my first time to Kauai. We spent a week there. Like our second night that we had gotten to Kauai, Josh was like, I know about this camp that we can go camp at. And I guess we got like dropped off somewhere like on the outside of like the Hawaiian homelands. It's this area where like it's supposed to be for like the natives, like so that they can still have some of their land because fucking the US took it over like only in the 50s or something like that, or like claimed it as a state at least in the 50s. I think it was like not that long ago. It's only been like 70 years or so. It's crazy when you really put it into that kind of perspective. But yeah, it's like people like go live out there. And, like, honestly, there's, like, some sketchy people that camp out there, and some people that are, like, tweakers and stuff. It's, like, really sad. It's weird. And, like, this part of the island wasn't, like, they don't take care of it, like, as the state of Hawaii or whatever, I guess. And there's just all this trash, all the ocean trash that would wash up. And there's, like, ovens and, like, washers and dryers and, like, weird stuff. All kinds of like weird appliances and stuff that's like how the hell did this like where did this come from? But yeah, so I was like getting really skeptical. We're like walking through this part of the jungle and this island where it's like really trashy, and I'm like, are we going the right place? And we have our big heavy backpacks, and like we go down this one way. We're just like going through this like really tall like cane grass at first, and and then we take a wrong turn, like my feet are getting so tired and this bag is so heavy and my back hurts and everything. I'm like, we better not just be walking around like to not find where we're trying to get. But then we start like landscape starts changing a little bit, and like trees are different kinds of trees are out. It starts getting like a little bit more cleaned up, and there's all these buoys. I'll have to find the picture of these for you too. But all these big like floats, and these huge ones that they lined like all the sidewalks, all the walkways, and like the trees. They hung them from the trees, and I mean they were just everywhere. It was like they were all different colors, and it was magical. And there's these the people that live there, gosh, oof, this is so sad. I don't remember any of their names. I remember exactly what they look like, but they had this camp, and you could see the ocean. You could literally, from where we were chilling around where their fire is, You can see blowhole, like the whales blow in their blowholes. Like you can see the water spouting. And there was like 4 guys that lived there, and I think the guy that had like founded the camp, he had been there for 6 years, living off the land. He was just like a cool dude. They're all like just really chill guys, and they still had like jobs or like whatever they contribute to the community. Like I think the main guy worked at the food bank, and like that was part of how he got his food also, was working at the food bank. And they just lived really simply and had like solar power rigged, like something, I don't know. And a little kitchen. Everyone had like their own separate camps, like their own tents, kind of like, spread out. And there was, if you had to poop, you had to take a shovel with you and go dig a little hole and bury it. They had a protocol. There was like a certain area. It's like you go that way for that. Oh, man. One of the other really awesome parts about being on Kauai, I've already told this story before, but I'll tell it again if you're in this video. There was this guy from Jamaica, and he was living on Kauai there. And he had been there, I think he said, for about 8 years, or 9 years, 8 years. He was like 78, I think. And he had like dreadlocks in his beard. He had like super long dreads. He had this cool hat and everything. And Josh had already been telling me about him before. He's like, I met this Rasta man, and he's like really impactful. And in fact, he actually lived at this beach. And in fact, it was by this bridge. And oh my God, he's right there. And he was still there. Like, Josh hadn't been there in like 2 or 3 years or something. And yeah, that dude was still chilling there, like at the same spot. And so we like went and sat and met him and talked to him, and we talked about being an artist and all this stuff. And let me go grab it for you. So I told him about how I'm a painter. This paintbrush is so sacred to me that I have it in my little, I don't know what you would call this, but this is my little bowl of intentions, I guess. This paintbrush, it was just on the ground, and he told me that the Aina wanted me to have it, and that it was part of my purpose, and that I needed, like, the Aina, like, equipped me with a paintbrush. And it's a good paintbrush too. I have painted with it, but it's too special. Maybe if I have something really, really special to paint, I'll use it again. But for now, I just like to keep it in here with my purga, my stake, my nomad stake that I am now staked. I've got this essential oil in here that my friend Graf made. I don't remember what his process is, but it's kaffir lime, by magroot, leaf of magroot, lime, Thai lime. And yeah, I got my crystal wand in here, and I've got this other crystal I got from Sierra, and an amulet that I got from the same place that I got my purga. And this coin in here. Anyways, so if that like helps give you an idea of like what some of my influences are with my artwork, and like why I'm drawn to what I'm drawn to, and the colors. And I mean, I guess I've always been drawn to the colors even before I ever like went traveling, but I mean, I really resonate with tropical vibes. I mean, I love the mountains too, and there's still mountains in Hawaii, but like I was just telling you the story about. But when I say the mountains, I refer to like Colorado if I'm talking about going to the mountains or whatever. But yeah, no, Hawaii, like that's my end game goal. Like I want to die in Hawaii. I want to have land in Hawaii someday, and I want to do what I'm doing at Studio San Martian. Like, bringing art community together, and having yoga and music, and I mean only even more. Like I want to have like land where people can come and like farm and wolf and like do work exchange, and Oh man, yeah, I see it. It's gonna be really beautiful, and you're invited. um, yeah, that's where I see myself whenever I'm old, and I know that my time is coming. So I'm going to Nicaragua later this year too. I bought a ticket. I'm going to some friends' wedding. They're getting married, and a bunch of friends we're all going together. And I'm really excited to see some more tropical vibes again. Because I mean, yeah, we haven't been able to travel for a while, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go do it because travel, travel is really important to me. Anyways, I'm rambling now. Thanks for listening to my story.